Ready to pop the question? The jewelers at BlueNile.com have got sparkle down to a science with beautiful lab-grown diamonds worthy of your most brilliant moments. Their lab-grown diamonds are independently graded and guaranteed identical to natural diamonds, and they're ready to ship to your door. Go to BlueNile.com and use promo code LISTEN to get $50 off your purchase of $500 or more. That's code LISTEN at BlueNile.com for $50 off. BlueNile.com, code LISTEN.
Last week we watched Blade Runner 2049.
This week we watched Drive.
The connection is Ryan Gosling.
Woo!
He's literally me for reals.
For real, for real.
Welcome to Oldie But a Goodie. Why, it's a podcast where we review movies that are connected to the last movies that we watched, and this week we're doing Drive, because, Zach, I'm very sorry. My name's Sandro, and your name's Zach, and Zach, I've got to apologize for something.
Oh, you got to apologize. Well, go ahead. You know what, Sandro? Go ahead, Sandro. I'll allow you to.
Aside from Moana, every movie that we've done on the podcast for this new season that we did start mid-year, but that's fine, we've just done film bro movies, and I'm sorry that we're in this niche at the moment of doing film bro movies.
Yeah, I mean, arguably Moana, but anyway.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Any Disney film is like a Disney bro movie, right?
Oh, Disney bros.
And Disney bros are just like, I don't know, a sub-genre of film bro, I would say.
Yeah, that they are just film bros, yet maybe 10% happier. Pretty much.
I would say like 50%. Like
50%?
More, yeah.
That's true. Oh my goodness, Zach, this week we're reviewing Drive, because I picked it because Ryan Gosling was also in Blade Runner, and so we're doing Drive.
And Sandro, if I had a nickel for every time I watched Ryan Gosling lying down stabbed, I would have 2 nickels.
It happens at the start of the movie. We're doing non-spoilers and no one doing spoilers. That's not a spoiler. It's fine. Don't worry about it, listeners.
Man likes not showing emotion, and he's damn good at it.
Ryan Gosling, outside of his rom-coms, he loves playing mostly silent, autistic-coded men. Which is, look, he's got a niche, and he goes for it, and he's very good at it. So,
and people relate.
Yeah.
They're like literally him.
It's literally me. Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
If I had a nickel for every time my connection was the actor, I would have 2 nickels as well.
Sandro, you can pick movies without looking at the actors.
I did last week. You just happened to pick one of the 2 options that were
actor related. Yeah. That's the problem, right? Because even if you just have one that's actor related, there's a chance of me picking that one.
Exactly.
I can tell you, for all the movies I have this week, none of them are actor related, at least on purpose.
Well, I mean, you kind of can't go for... Oh, no, you can go for other actors in the movie. You can't go for Ryan Gosling.
What are you fucking talking about? This movie had fucking Thanos. This movie had fucking... Walter White?
Yeah.
This movie was cooking, dude.
Thanos? Do you mean Hellboy?
Oh, Hellboy, yes. Sorry, the same thing.
He would have made a great Thanos if he was like 20 years younger. True. Man, we'll talk about the movie in a second. I got a lot of first impressions that I want to jump into, and I'm sure you do too. But actually, first, speaking of connections, I actually should probably mention, Zach, that I came up with a brand new rule just before we started recording.
Whoa! What rule is this that you've already told me?
I know, I have already told you, but it's a rule.
Whoa! Can you just say the fucking rule already?
Maybe I will, or maybe it will keep going for another rule.
Okay, so we're not allowed to do previous connections that we've already done.
Yes.
That's the new rule. That's the rule that Sandro has implemented and I have agreed on because I was going to do that anyway because I wanted to be creative. But now it's forcing us to be creative, which is you cannot have the exact same connection that has been used at all.
No.
At any point.
Previously, it was you can't have the same connection twice in a row. Now we're just throwing that out the window. You can't use the same connection ever again.
That's fair. That's fair. Unless I really want to.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that we'll find ways to make it work.
I'm sure there's an easy way to skirt around this.
That's the problem with us, Zach, is our connections are gonna be stretches. That's just gonna happen.
It's gonna happen eventually. Like at the end of this episode.
Yeah, I mean, I'm very worried about what you picked.
No, actually, I think my connections are really good this week, actually. I say that jokingly, but I actually think all my connections are really good, and they're all vastly different.
That's good. Well, because I'm pretty sure during the Southland Tales episode, you said my connections are not great at the start of the episode.
I was just shit-talking, you know me, you know.
One other quick rule that we've also implemented is if there's a big, holiday or, a theme coming up, all of the picks that the person picks has to be in the vein of those. So, for example, Christmas is up in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I think it will be you have to connect it to the holiday and you have to connect it to the past movie.
Exactly.
You have to do a double connection, which might be tricky, or we just make giant stretches.
I mean, we're just going to bullshit our way through it.
Yes. You see, there are human actors in this movie.
Exactly. Well, the problem is if you do that, we can never use the connection of human
I know.
Again.
But there's a lot of things. It's this has a male lead. You know, what a connection.
We will probably eventually get to that, which will be very funny.
Absolutely. That's when you pull out, ooh, that's a bit of a stretch.
And then I hit it with a stretch. I wonder who's going to get the first stretch of the season. I don't know. Anyway, it's going to be pretty fun when we have 50 banned connections and we can't pick anything.
Hell yeah, dude. We're going to have a Google Doc or something for that, because I'm going... I literally am already forgetting previous ones, you know?
We will definitely have to.
What was Moana's catching to Southland Tales? There was some sort of famous actor involved? I don't know.
I don't remember which one. Was it Boba Fett? I don't know.
Yeah, that was it.
Also, shout out to our editor, Saki. He ended up editing the last episode, and he's editing this one. So shout out to him. Yeah, he did.
Oh my god.
He had a little cameo in it as well, where he had to correct something that we said.
It was definitely something that I said, for sure.
Anyway, Zach, what's your first impressions on the movie Drive?
Oh, that's pretty good.
Cool. Yeah, I'm good.
All right, Sandro, what was your... No, it was I liked it a lot. It was very good. It was a lot gorier and murderier than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Trying not to spoil it, but there's a lot.
Yeah.
You know?
For sure. It's pretty violent, this movie, actually.
It's a very violent film, so if you're unaware of that, it is very violent.
I mean, I'm pretty sure in the last episode I said that I was scared of this movie.
I wasn't, and I went in. I can tell you in non-spoilers when I got scared of this movie, and it's very funny because I was completely correct. So it worked out quite well.
You were completely correct. I'm very intrigued.
I know. It's a very rare occurrence, Sandro, but I was very correct. But no, I enjoyed the film a lot. I didn't know what I was expecting.
Yeah.
But it delivered.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a good time. I liked Ryan Gosling. I did think it was funny because he also acts quite like he is literally the strong silent type again.
Yep. It's pretty much the same character.
It's almost exactly the same character, which is great. It's a very good character, though, and I liked it a lot. So it was good to see Joe back again.
Joe, no, his name's Kay. His name isn't Joe. Ana de Armas named him.
No. His name's Joe because the AI companion is programmed to call you that because of their advertising campaigns.
That's right. Well, what's his name in this one? His name in this one is The Driver.
Yeah.
So
you get even less of a name somehow.
That's true.
He also doesn't like names, apparently.
No, he doesn't, actually. No, that's a good point. I also really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was good. I thought it was a fun time. It was pretty much what I expected, and but in a good way. It didn't really exceed my expectations at all, but it met them. And I was like, that was good.
Yeah. It was very sort of John Wick-esque.
This would have come out probably just before John Wick and that kind of era of action thriller movies. Yeah.
Comparing it to John Wick, which do you think is a better film?
I have only seen, like, John Wick, like, in parts. I've never actually sat down and watched the whole thing. And I need to at some point.
Okay.
But I think John Wick's probably better than this, maybe. It's probably a better action movie.
It's interesting because I think the one criticism that John Wick always gets is like, haha, they had no writers, they had no story, you know, it's just...
That's the point. It's directed by a guy who does stunts. It's not going to have a plot.
It is the point. It is... Exactly, right? And it's really fun to watch, and it's a great movie.
Yeah.
Whereas this has a story, but it's also not its strong point.
No, the strong point of this movie is the acting, it's the action as well, but it's also definitely like the visual storytelling and like the whole movie's about stuff, but it doesn't ever say what it's really about. You've got to kind of figure it out.
Yeah. But I like that a lot. I think the criticisms against the story in this movie are almost unfounded because it's more like the story is just life existing and what it's real life.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like day to days and shit hits the fan and it's like, well, that's life.
Yeah. It's a really interesting it's not really a commentary, but like it says a lot about like class and stuff as well, which I was we'll get into in the spoiler section, but it's got some interesting stuff going on in it, which I thought was pretty good. It's also really well directed as well. I like how it looks. The soundtrack's fucking sick. I mean, you would have liked the soundtrack because it's got songs by your favorite band ever.
Yeah. I really like Night Call. That's that's a song that I listen to quite frequently.
Yes.
So I was like, oh, look at that. It's in this movie. Oh, yeah. There was some bangers. I was a huge fan of the soundtrack in this one.
It's very, I don't think the music is by Justice, but it feels like it is by Justice.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Kavinsky I listen to quite a lot. So he's one of my top bands. So it's definitely up there.
You love your French electronica, that's for sure.
I listen to a surprising amount of French music. I realized, I looked at my stuff. I literally have songs in French that I listen to.
That makes sense.
Like, my more than half my playlists have French songs. Because it's like Daft Punk, Kavinsky, you know, it's like all this shit. And I'm like, hang on a second.
What's going on here?
Look, I may dunk on the French, but like...
We all do.
Yeah. They deserved.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
they make some great bangers.
That's true. It's so interesting to me as well. And, because, no, I shouldn't say that, because they could potentially be options that you've picked. But I don't think you have picked them. There's two movies that are like so connected to this movie that made me want to go and potentially watch those movies.
Oh, yeah?
And I don't know if I should say them in case I spoil it, but also maybe it's funny.
No, go ahead. It's funny, though, because then you figuring out that they're the same would be cool.
That is pretty cool. The director made another movie with Ryan Gosling just after this called Only God Forgives, which now I really want to watch, where it's like, I think it's like a boxing movie, I think.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Which sounds good. And then also, Ryan Gosling came out with another movie this year where he also plays a stunt driver.
There you go.
So it's so interesting. Where I'm like,
it's interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you, my connections, none of my connections are Ryan Gosling connections.
Well, they can't be.
If those movies were back there, their connection wouldn't be Ryan Gosling.
No, that would be the director and a stunt driver.
Well, the director, you can't use that. We've already done that one, right?
We should mention as well, if we use the connection of the actor, it's not the connection of the same actor is in this that's cut. It's that particular actor we can't ever do again. Just a kind of, it's probably the same with director and writer as well.
I was thinking of saying we should have it so you can't connect actors ever again.
But then we would absolutely be out of, like, the safe options.
No, Sandra, you would be out of them.
That's fair.
You would be out of them. I can connect things. Dude, there was a fucking tree in this movie. There's a tree in a whole bunch of fucking movies,
so
Sandra.
broad, but it's also not a stretch, so it's fine.
I think that's definitely a stretch.
What else can we say about this movie? It is about Ryan Gosling as like a stunt driver, who also is a getaway driver at the same time. I feel like that's all that we can really say in non-spoilers.
Yeah. There's a lot of things I want to say, but all of them are in spoilers.
Yeah.
So we'll probably jump into those in a second.
Because he's a stunt driver, there's a lot of car chases in this movie, and they're very good. I really enjoyed the car chases. As you mentioned, the violence in this movie is great. It's not that regular. Like, it's pretty infrequent that it gets violent. You know what I mean?
Oh, right. Yeah. I was trying to figure out what you meant there, but yes. Also, a surprising amount of gore.
Definitely,
and I quite liked the gore. I thought the gore was very good. Sandro, we are big fans of the gore. We're gore aficionados.
We love it. We eat it up.
Say.
Yum, 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 baked beans.
We love num, num, num. Yeah, baked beans in the skull. Num, num, num. What did you think of the gore? What was your opinion?
I did not expect it. It was a surprise. Which apparently it was when this movie...
A surprise, but a welcome one.
Yes, which apparently it was when this movie came out as well. All of the critics at the time were like, this is great, but what the fuck was that gore? Because I was so surprised. I loved it. I thought it was incredibly gooby and just like ultra violent out of nowhere every now and then.
Very gooby vibes.
But speaking of out of nowhere, half the cast of this, I'm like, what? Why? What are they doing in this? Like, as you mentioned, why is Hellboy in this?
Yeah. I'm like, whoa, hello there.
Yeah.
What are you doing here?
We've got Sally Sparrow from the Doctor Who episode Blink as the love interest. What's she doing in this? What she... Don't blink. What's she there for?
Bryan Cranston? I already mentioned him.
What's he doing there? He's acting so great in this. I'm like, oh my goodness, he's like the perfect middle between Dad from Malcolm in the Middle and Walter White. He's right in the middle of the two. In this one.
Fun fact, Duke Leto actually survived Baron Harkonnen's attack on him, and he fled to the Earth planet to hide out as just a dude, where he then got immediately arrested.
Yes. And then he turns into Poe from Star Wars after this. Yes. Yeah. What the fuck is Oscar Isaac doing in this?
Yeah! He's great. I haven't seen him in many things, and seeing him in this, I was like, actually, maybe I have seen him in things. I don't know. He's really good. I like him in film.
He is good. I feel like he's very he did Star Wars and he made his money, and now he's not doing much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Dune.
True.
So,
I mean, also he's barely in that.
I guess he's out of Dune now. Yeah. Spoilers.
That's true. No, it's a good cast. But Zach, it potentially could have been an even bigger cast, because this movie was not originally going to be directed by this director, Zach. It was going to be directed by the guy who did Hellboy, which I guess makes sense as to why Ron Perlman's in this. But the lead actor for that version of this movie, Zach, was going to be Hugh Jackman.
Whoa! A huge jacked man?
A huge jacked man in Drive, and he's driving around, and he's like, oh, I'm bloody driving around in my car.
I think you could have done that. It would have been a slightly different tone.
Yeah.
With the whole, like, try not to spoil it, but, like, you know, bonding, you know? Like, because Hugh Jackman's a bit more of, like, you know, he's got a smile on his face. He's a happy boy, you know.
Yeah.
Just in real life, he's a happy guy. You know, he's a lovable hunk, you know.
For sure.
And so I think that would have definitely translated into the film.
Yeah.
And changed the tone a bit.
I think it would have been a different movie, for sure. Yeah, but it still would have been good. You know, Hugh Jackman hasn't done a lot of movies like this. He did that one where he's a hacker man. Fuck, that movie's weird. He gets a blowjob while he's hacking something. It's fucking weird. It's a weird movie.
That's
I forget what it's called. Swordfish? Don't watch it. Oh, maybe watch it. It's kind of fun.
Or watch it, though.
But I feel like, he hasn't done a whole lot of movies like this. So that would have been cool. But anyway, Zach, we should rate it and then go into spoilers, because I know we got a lot to bloody get into. Are you going to give this a Oldie or a Goodie?
Most definitely a Goodie.
Yes.
Most definitely a Goodie. I enjoyed it. Maybe not my top 10 film, like a lot of people say, but like, this is a good movie. I enjoyed it.
For sure. I agree with you. I will be joining that Goodie with another Goodie. It's not like amazing.
Yeah.
It's not one of the best ever, but it's pretty good.
But it's good.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even say it's pretty good, Sandro. I would say it's good.
You say it's just good?
Yeah. There's no prettying about this, Sandro.
Oh, that's true.
This is a good film.
This movie's not pretty at all. This movie's handsome. It's
ugly as fuck.
Exactly. It may be ugly, but do you think it's ugly in the box office? What do you think this made off of a $15 million budget, considering how film bro-y it is?
What did you say? How much budget?
15 million. Pretty low budget.
15. Oh, that's a low budget.
Yeah, it's a low budget festival movie.
Yeah. That all went to the actors, I think. Because, goddamn.
Probably, honestly. Yeah.
Wow. That's really cheap. I thought this movie would be much more expensive. Like 50 mil.
50 mil? Yeah.
They did really good with this one.
Yeah, definitely.
100?
100 million?
Yeah.
You're just shy. 81 million.
81. Yeah. I was thinking of the ratings, right?
For sure.
'Cause what is this rated?
It's like 93%.
No. I mean like R.
Oh, yeah.
rating.
This is definitely like a pretty big R rating.
Yeah. So I'm thinking this is really popular, but really popular for an R-rated movie, right?
For sure. Yeah, definitely.
That's what I was thinking of.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was a big success. This movie was a big success, made the money.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. Especially for an R-rated movie, that's really good.
For sure. And then we got a couple taglines to get into. They are interesting, so get ready.
All right, I am ready.
Some heroes are real.
That's such a shit tagline for this film.
Gives you the wrong idea.
Yeah. It's like, oh, here's another MCU movie. Fucking hell. Thumbs down.
Yeah, definitely. Get in, get out, get away.
Ooh.
It's better. It's not good, though.
No, but I actually kind of like this one.
Really?
Yeah. Get in, get out, get away, It's got a good literacy.
Yeah, I mean, fair, I guess.
It's the getaway because the getaway has multiple meanings. I'm gonna give it a thumbs up, but it's another, I think, retrospective thumbs up because I'm thinking,
works better after you've seen the movie.
Yeah.
And then the final tagline is, there are no clean getaways.
I'm going to thumbs down. If I have to think about it, it's definitely a thumbs down. Is this enticing me? No.
Yeah.
The second one kind of enticed me. It tickled me a little with the illiterate. Nah, this one? Nah.
Thumbs down.
I'm good.
Well, yeehaw! I've been dreaming lately, listener. I've been sleeping in my bed, and you know what I dreamed of? I dreamed that Sandro and Zach from Oldie But a Goodie released a new episode on patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie pod. And then I woke up, and they had. So I'm here to record this ad for it. They reviewed Freddy vs. Jason. It's the 11th Friday the 13th movie, and Freddy Krueger's in it. Here's a clip.
I liked when Freddy turned into a weird grub CGI monster and then got high.
The high caterpillar from Alice in Wonderland or some shit, but it's Freddy Krueger. What the fuck was that? Who came up with that?
I don't know. It didn't make any fucking sense.
So dumb.
But it's so funny because the high guy's like, yeah, this caterpillar gets it.
Yeah. That was such a weird scene.
And then he follows it, and then he swallows the caterpillar because the caterpillar crawls inside him, and then he's mind controlling him to tip out all the pills. And I'm like, oh, this is so good.
Crazy.
They had writers for this.
Yeah.
It's more than I could say for a lot of things that came out, like Godzilla vs. No.
If I sounded a little different and a little more screechy at the start of this promo, that's because I just woke up and I had to record the episode. But yeah, Sandro and Zach reviewed Freddy vs. Jason, the latest in their long line of Jason Voorhees reviews. That's on patreon.com/Oldie But a Goodie pod if you want to get it and support the show. And you can also get ad-free episodes up there, plus a massive back catalog. I mean, this back... I'm an American. Yeehaw! Alright, spoiler warning. It's time to get into the story of the movie. Spoilers for the movie. It's not a happy ending. Spoiled Spoil that much.
Have you ever watched a movie where they have a, 10-minute montage of everyone being happy and loving each other and all of that in the first, 20 minutes of the movie, and the rest of the hour of the movie not had the most deranged, fucked up shit you've ever seen in your life?
I loved how this movie was, so happy at the start. I was like, well, this is not going to last.
Yeah, no. Literally the whole time through that montage of them driving, and they're like, well, I'm happy we're becoming a family. You know, this is the best. I'm literally, I couldn't enjoy that scene because I was like, it is 20 minutes into the film. The film's gonna get fucked up shortly.
Yep.
Something fucked is going to happen.
It's true.
To be fair, I wasn't expecting to get this brutal, but I was totally on the money.
Yeah.
I was like, I knew exactly how the film would play out pretty much from the end of it. I'm like, Ryan is not going to get with the girl in this one. They're donezo. Ruh-roh.
100%. It's pretty obvious, but it's more like, how is this going to fall apart, which becomes the really interesting thing.
Yeah, no. And it's like watching a car crash, in slow motion.
Oh my gosh, there are no clean getaways or car crashes either. So a general premise of this, just to very quickly go over it if you haven't seen it. Ryan Gosling, he's a getaway driver. He has a neighbor. He loves the neighbor. They fall in love. But neighbor has a husband. Neighbor's husband, out of prison, wants to steal some money.
He's pretty cool, though. Seems like a good husband. I would let him rule Dune.
I mean, that's fair. I'll get into how that character. There's some interesting stuff about that character that made me go, oh, we can't have one happy moment with him on screen. Okay, which was great writing. So the husband gets out of jail. Husband has to go and steal some money. Now Ron Perlman wants to kill everyone. End of movie.
And then everybody dies in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Well, everyone dies aside from Sally Sparrow and Ken.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah.
From the Doctor Who episode Blink, just to the connection is it's Carey Mulligan.
Yeah, no. I think you mean Joe from
That's pretty much the general premise of the movie. Yeah, I liked how there's that, because as you mentioned, there's the long scene of Ryan Gosling, the kid, because Carey Mulligan has a kid, and they're all bonding. It's a big happy montage, and it's the only happy stuff in the movie, but the whole time you're like, fuck.
Yeah.
This is not good. It's good for the moment, but you know that Ryan Gosling, you're not meant to actually care about anything.
Yeah.
You're just meant to do your job and then leave.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
The moment you get attached to someone, that's when shit's gonna hit the fan. That's movie 101, Gosling. You shouldn't have done that.
That's true. But yeah, I liked when Oscar Isaac comes in, they try and have happy family moments that are just ruined by random shit that he says. There's that part where he's talking about they're having a big dinner all together, and they're talking about how they met, how Oscar Isaac and Carey Mulligan met. And it's it's a pretty nice story about how they met, aside from the fact that she was 17. And you're like,
oh, yeah, that's right. That was weird.
In every single scene where he's on screen, they don't try and make it menacing. They do sometimes, but he's not a super menacing character. It's just that there's stuff that's happening where you're like, oh, fuck this guy, actually.
I disagree. It's fuck this guy. It's to show that they have an imperfect marriage, right? That's how I translated it anyway. It's okay, you could see why she's not 100% on the marriage, not 100% with this guy. But he seemed like a nice guy. He seemed like a good dude that may have done some fucked up shit and been
he's definitely
big piece of shit.
He's definitely abusive. 100%. That one scene where it's it's his welcome back party, and the song that's playing, if you listen to the music, the lyrics of the song is just about someone being abusive, and you're like, oh my goodness, and they're all dancing and having fun to this song. But if you pay attention to the lyrics, you'd be like, oh all.
No, yeah, it's definitely shown like he's not a good guy. And then he gets shot, and then Ryan's like, shit.
Yeah.
We got set up.
I like how at the start of the movie for Ryan Gosling, it's like he sets up his rules immediately and like what he says to his clients immediately, which is like, you got me for 5 minutes. I don't care before. I don't care after. You've only got me for like that like the getaway part, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as he then works for Oscar Isaac, his rules are just out the window and like he starts to care, and that's why everything goes wrong.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, because I'm pretty sure he's in the minutes when he leaves, like...
But they go to the hotel afterwards. Like, he doesn't just drop her off, you know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's because shit hits the fan, right? We know the reason he takes her with him and doesn't, like, drop her off already, because he needs to interrogate her, right? He needs to find out, like, what the fuck happened, right? Whereas in the first montage, and I want to talk about the start of this movie because I think it's definitely one of the strongest openings we've seen on the podcast.
Yeah.
Because the movie starts with a heist.
Yeah.
And like they've got we learn about the rules.
Yeah.
That he's there for 5 minutes. You know, if you're not there in time, he's out of there. You know.
Yeah.
And so we have some very tense scene where they go in, they rob the joint. One guy comes out. We're waiting. Is the other guy going to get that? They're like, there's the ticking of the clock in the background. It's like tick, 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 tick. And then the other guy comes out. And then we have a great, like, police chase where...
That was so good.
Where you can hear the radio. They've tuned into the police radio so they can hear the call-outs of them.
Yeah.
And, like, he's dodging the police cars. And then, like, he hears on the radio when one of the police cars identifies him. And he just goes pedal to the metal.
Yeah.
You know, but he manages to, like, outmaneuver him and then hide behind somewhere, and it just, like, drives off, you know, lost sight of them. It was pretty wild, and there was some... It was good. Some good driving, I would say.
I agree. I thought the drive of the movie, and also the driving in the movie, was all pretty good. I love that opening. I like how he doesn't say a thing during that opening as well.
Yeah, no. But it adds to the tension so much.
Definitely, yeah.
Because also the people in the back aren't saying anything, right?
Not really, no.
Dead silence.
Yeah.
No, they don't say anything. It's so tense. But then he turns up the radio and he just has the radio blaring and you're like, is that to break the silence? Is to break the thing? No, it's part of the plan.
That's right.
Because this reveals at the end that they pull into a large stadium where the whole time, this whole like heist and driving sequence, they've been listening to the radio of this ball game, and as they pull into it, like, you know, with the police on their heels, they pull into a stadium just as the game finishes.
Yeah.
So you've got thousands of people pouring out of the stadium, and they just blend into the crowd.
That's right. Which is pretty cool. Very effective. I love how he just, he just jumps out, he changes his jacket, he's just...
Yeah, puts on a baseball cap, calls it a day.
Just, walks out past all of the cops. It's so good. It's great. And, considering that this was I believe this was Ryan Gosling's first, action hero movie, he sells it immediately. It's so good.
Oh, absolutely. He's really good in it. Yeah, I love it a lot.
Definitely. I love that opening. The heist that we get with Oscar Isaac is also good, also really tense. Yep. When he gets shot, it's genuinely shocking. Like, you expect something bad to happen, but the way that it happens is not how you would expect it.
Yeah. The movie does a good job of, keeping you tense, keeping you on your seat, but also subverting a little bit. Even though from the first happy montage of the movie, I knew the rest of the movie was going to be some of the most deplorable, fucked up shit, you know?
It's true.
And I didn't even know this was an R-rated movie, Sandro. I just knew that happiness was not going to last. Yeah. And it did not.
It absolutely did not.
Because, guy gets shot. Yeah. He takes the other person who was robbing them back to a little safe location.
Yeah, Christina Hendricks from Mad Men. She's also in this, just randomly. Yeah. It's great.
Again, a lot of random, very famous just people
Yeah.
just in this. And then he interrogates her. She's like, oh yeah, it's this guy Cooks. He's Chris that I knew, but like I didn't know you guys were going to get shot up, you know.
Yeah, it's like we knew that we were going to take more money than we were going to, that we said we were, but I didn't know that this was going to happen.
Then while he's interrogating her, some guys sneak around their like little, because they're in like a hotel.
Yeah.
And he, like, notices the light flickering. And, Sandro.
What?
There's the one thing that you hate above all else in every single movie in this film.
Was there slow-mo in this part?
There was slow-mo.
Huh.
Yeah, Sandro.
I didn't even realize. I was so in the movie that I didn't even realize.
Yeah. He's slow-mos. He's, like, flipping the mattress over onto the door.
Yeah.
As the lady gets her fucking brains blown out. I was like, fuck.
And, like, again, the way that it did it was, like, I've seen shit like that before in a movie.
Yeah.
But the way that it was done in this movie and, like, the lead up to it was so, like, oh my goodness, I was not expecting that.
Yeah, that was an oh my god.
It's good. And, like, the way that he kills the two goons as well is so brutal. Again, for, like...
It's good.
And this is, like, an interesting thing about the movie is, like, Ryan Gosling's character is brutal.
Yeah.
The way he kills people in this is fucked up.
Yeah. No, he just fucks up some people, especially the next guy that he bumps into. He has a bad day in an elevator.
Oh, the elevator? That was... And again, like, that's right after, like, he kisses Carey Mulligan and then just stomps a guy's head.
Yeah,
there.
what the fuck? Oh my god, I knew that was gonna play out like that. But holy fuck.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as he saw the gun, then he, like, moves her back, but then also snogs her, and I'm like, wait... Isn't there just a bad guy in this elevator with them? Is he like, I like to imagine, like, if you had cut away to the bad guy, he's just sitting there watching them fucking snog for a good minute. You know, he's like, young kids these days, always snogging, you know, and then he gets his head caved in.
Yeah, exactly. It's so interesting, though, because, like, I don't, like, Ryan Gosling in this movie, he kills a lot of people, but I'm not like he's a bad guy for doing it in such a brutal way. Because, like, this movie has such an interesting theme of, like, power dynamics and shit that I'll get to later, but, like, he puts on a mask whenever he does stuff. A lot of the time. He actively puts on a mask, and, like, the fact that Ryan Gosling is also kind of playing, like, an autistic guy in this, I'm like, well, that's masking up. That's literally a thing.
Yeah.
That neurodivergent people do, is put on a mask. I do it. Like, we put on a mask when we interact with people that we don't really know. That's just a thing that happens, and he actively does that in this movie. And also, like, the way that he kills people, I feel like it's just how he's seen other people kill people, so he just does it that way. Because he's not a brutal guy, and we see that all throughout the movie, which is why it's so surprising when he caves a guy's head in, because it's like, that's out of character and weird. But then it's like, well, not really because of the crowd that he runs with, but also he doesn't like them or want to be around them.
Yeah.
You know, it's so interesting. Which is why I'm tempted to read the book that this is based off, but I feel like the book might not have the depth that I would want. I kind of have a feeling it's probably not gonna, you know.
I don't know. It could be good.
Maybe.
It could be good.
I don't know.
I mean, it was a good movie, so if it's a good movie, the book should presumably be good.
That's true.
And if it's and if a movie is made of a book, right? Surely the book has some value to begin with, you know?
I mean, that's true.
That's some logic.
There's some thoughts there. Anyway, that's just something that I maybe read into it, or maybe that was a part of it. I don't know. I think it maybe is a part of it, because again, like, in the ending, the very ending, he does put on a mask when he goes to kill the one person that he kind of likes.
Yeah, he literally puts on a mask.
Like, he's like, all right, I've killed everyone that I don't like. Now I've got to go kill the one guy who I kind of like. I'm going to go mask up for this one.
Does he like that guy? I'm pretty sure that guy's like a complete prat the whole
Oh, wait, no, that was
film.
for Ron Perlman, wasn't it?
Yeah, Ron Perlman was like a huge asshole the
Oh,
whole
yeah,
film.
no, fuck that guy.
He's like, yeah, this guy fucking sucks. I need a real pussy mobile. This one's a real pussy mobile.
I loved how Ron Perlman talked. He talked like the race he wasn't in this, which I thought was very interesting. Because I feel like it's a part of, like, again, he's also just putting on an act. He's also just pretending to be a gangster. You know what I mean? Like, everyone in this movie is pretending to be something that they're not, aside from maybe Carey Mulligan, which is really interesting.
Yeah, but isn't life Sandro, just pretending to be someone you're not.
And so that means the drive should actually just be called life. I don't know.
I mean, it's not far off. Live, laugh, drive.
So Ron Perlman is the big bad guy of this because he hired...
He's semi a big bad guy. I'd say because it's between him and Albert Brooks.
Bernie. I don't think Bernie is that. But again, though, Zach, Bernie's just following orders, though. Like, he's not really...
Like, is he, though? They're both No. Because they're not... He's not following orders, per such. He's just cleaning up the other dude's fuck-up, right? He's partners with Ron, right?
Yeah.
And Ron fucks it up. So now he's got to, like, fix his mistakes.
That's true. But like, he doesn't like that he has to fix up the mistakes, I guess, is what I mean to say.
No. He certainly doesn't like it, but he's still a bad guy, but he's the worst kind of bad guy, where it's like, at least with Nino, at least with Ron, he's a huge asshole.
Sure.
He doesn't pretend to be anything other than a huge asshole. He's an idiot. He's a huge asshole. He gets killed. Like, it's all straightforward with him. It's like, whereas with Albert, it's like, oh shit, I actually kind of like this dude. He's very charismatic. He's friendly. But then he shakes your hand. Same time, he slits your arm.
Yeah.
Boom.
Oh, fuck that. That got me as well. I was like, I've never seen a kill like that ever.
Right? Yeah.
Where, like, he shakes Bryan Cranston's hand and then just slits his wrist. I was like, fuck.
Yeah. I knew... Yeah.
Like, I knew that he was gonna get stabbed, but I didn't expect it like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's so interesting. But also, Zach, like, with that as well, yes, he has to clean up Ron Perlman's mess, and Ryan Gosling has to clean up Bryan Cranston's mess, and Ryan Gosling and Bernie are both trying to go straight. Like, Bernie wants to go straight because he wants to get into a legitimate business, which is race car driving.
Yeah. That would have been cool.
Which is also Bryan Cranston's plan, but Bryan Cranston just wants to do it for the money.
Does Albert want to go straight, or did he just like the idea of a name on his race car?
I mean, potentially.
Sandro?
I feel like he doesn't want to be in crime.
Again, see, you're falling for his tricks.
Maybe.
Because he's the most sinister villain of the film. Whereas you don't know he's the villain of the film till he is. He is a snake in the grass, Sandro.
I don't know.
And you are falling for his whispers.
I don't know. I feel like he's a little bit legitimate. He's just he's just been in the crime world for a bit longer so that he can't really get out of it.
Sandro, he makes a deal with fucking Ryan to get the money from the car, and then Ryan goes off, and he immediately, as soon as he gets the money, he stabs Ryan.
That's true.
He's a snake in the grass, Sandro. You can't trust Albert Brooks, the human being, not the acting.
He's not acting in
not
this.
Not Bernie. Yeah,
for sure. But I find that interesting because, like, Ryan Gosling essentially has to clean up Bryan Cranston's mess because all the bad stuff that happens in this, it's partly Oscar Isaac, but he's just kind of a pawn who's killed off early on. Like, Bryan Cranston also, he just wants to, like, be bigger and more... Like, he's got a legitimate business going on that's going pretty well, but he wants more fame and stuff, and then he gets Ryan Gosling in, and then Ryan Gosling has to clean up his mess. Same thing with Ron Perlman. He wants, more power, and so he kind of fucks up, and then Bernie has to clean up his mess, which then means that Ryan Gosling in turn has to clean up the mess. It's interesting, because it's all about power dynamics a little bit, and I thought that was something that we don't really see usually in a crime movie, because usually it's just, I kill big bad guy, I kill next big bad guy.
Yeah. Going back to John Wick, because that's really what John Wick is.
For sure.
Kill bad guy, kill next big bad guy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whereas this one is a bit more like... This one feels a bit more real, where it's like...
Yeah.
In John Wick, it's a fantasy, right?
For sure.
Because it's got that sort of, like, super spy level of, like... There's a secret organization of crime lords and, that sort of blah, blah, blah. Whereas this is like, hey, we're a couple of crime lords and we stole from some people we shouldn't have, and now we're kind of fucked. So now we need to kill everybody to cover our fucking asses.
That is Ron Perlman's plan and what happened, yeah.
Yeah, like... Ron Perlman just fucks everything up because he doesn't tell his partner before doing something.
Because he wants more power and doesn't communicate what he's doing.
Yeah, he's just an idiot.
Yeah.
But then it fucks everything up, and now shit's hit the fan, and now they have to murder everyone.
For sure.
And it's not pretty, and the other guy doesn't like doing it, but he does it.
He does it. He follows the orders. Because I guess it's also too late for him to get out as well, as maybe it. Like, he's so old at this point. Like, he can't, you know.
Who, Ron?
Bernie. Like...
Oh my god, are you simping for Bernie again?
Yeah. I think he's alright.
Jesus Christ, he has a fucking cabinet where he keeps all the murder weapons that he kills people with.
The cabinet of knives?
Yeah!
No, I think he's an alright guy, Zach. I think he's an alright guy with his cabinet of knives.
He has a collection of, like, I have killed different people. Each of these blades was used to kill a different person.
I think he's alright. I am joking, but I think he's alright. I love the part where he's like, I used to be in the movie business in the 80s, and I made a bunch of movies. I thought they were shit, but the critics called them European.
That
was pretty funny. I thought that was good.
It was good stuff.
That was good. Yeah, that part where like he puts on a mask to kill Ron Perlman was just that was so good though. Like that was great. And like he drowns him in the ocean.
That whole sequence was really good. It's like, oh yeah, Ron Perlman's fucked.
Yeah.
Guy's gonna get fucked up because he rocks up. I like it because it's early in the film we get shown that as a day job, Ryan Gosling is a stunt driver.
Yes.
And we see him in prosthetics and other things. And he uses that later on in the film to put on prosthetics as a disguise.
Yeah.
So he can go, like, kill a dude.
Yeah.
Which is like, ooh, that's smart and fucked up, you know? Because, yeah, the way he kills Rod is great. Because he waits till they're on the highway near the ocean and rides them off the road to then turn around, teleport his car into a position where he can then slam into their car again to push them off a little cliff so that Ron will try and run away into the ocean, but instead he just gets fucking drowned.
Just like how there's a lot of similarities between this and Blade Runner. 1, it's set in LA. 2, Ryan Gosling drives a lot. 3, he kills the big bad guy by drowning him in...
It's true.
Probably the same ocean as in Blade Runner.
Yeah, it's the same one. Yeah. Just to the left, you see in Blade Runner, the fucking lady's corpse is floating still in the ocean, like where he left it.
Somehow this is set in the future, past Blade Runner. I don't know how that happened, but somehow it is. We've kind of talked about everyone in this movie aside from Bryan Cranston and Carey Mulligan. Bryan Cranston's good in this. I loved him in this.
Oh, yeah, I love Bryan Cranston as, like, the greedy little shitter. But he's very charismatic and friendly, so...
He's basically Ryan Gosling's dad, but he does not have Ryan Gosling's best interests in mind at all.
No. He's a greedy boy. He's a bit of a weasel.
For sure.
He's a little greedy weasel, but he's very charismatic, so everybody kind of likes him. Everybody knows that he, like, is charging too much and all these other things, but everybody likes him enough that they just let him get away with it.
Yeah, for sure.
And it's great. And then he goes and fucks it up for everyone by blabbing a whole bunch.
His ego gets too big, he blabs a bunch, yeah.
I liked it, though, because at one point he has a lot of that Breaking Bad, like, vibe of, like, you know...
Yeah, true.
Because you know, the Walter, when Walter's, like, sort of sniveling, you know, he has that same sort of snivel, and it's pretty good.
That's true. The Cranston snivel. I like it.
Yeah. It's pretty good.
It's a good one. And, like, Carey Mulligan as well, I feel like you could definitely make the criticism that her character's underwritten in this. She doesn't get a whole lot to do. But also,
yeah,
I feel like it's not as bad as it could have been. Like, she's still kind of a character.
Oh, yeah. Because, you know, he's like, oh, yeah, I helped get your husband killed, and she slaps the shit out of him, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
It was like, yeah, deserved.
And, like, the way that she walks away after he stomps a guy's head in the elevator, like, that part where she's like, what the fuck? And just, like, silently, like, walks away backwards.
They're, like, silently staring at each other, and then the door closes, and it's like, ooh.
That was also good.
Because it's a literal door closing on their relationship, Sandro.
Oh my gosh, you're so correct.
Metaphors, how do they work?
There's so many metaphors in this. It's ridiculous. There's so many.
There's at least metaphor of them. Hilarious joke.
Yeah, I liked her in this. I thought she was good.
Yeah, she definitely could have used a bit more, But she did really well with what she was given.
Yeah, no, for sure.
And I liked her interacting with the son. She's a mum. She's doing her things, you know.
The kid was a good actor. It was really, like, interesting because I think, like, the main difference between this and Blade Runner is that there are moments of levity in this where Ryan Gosling is allowed to smile.
Yeah.
And, like, he smiles a lot in this movie.
That's true.
But, like, only at Mulligan and at her kid. Which, it's kind of like what you expect. But, like...
And I mean, that's the whole point is, like...
Exactly.
He was only really happy with them.
Yeah.
And then it all went pear-shaped.
Or because bloody Oscar Isaac had to get out of jail and be a bad guy.
Oscar Isaac did only one thing wrong.
He only did one thing.
But yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything else really to mention? We kind of have talked about every moment in the movie.
I think we've covered everything. Like... The car scenes are amazing. The driving's really good. Action's really sweet. The fight scenes are pretty good. They're usually pretty quick, the fight scenes.
Yeah, definitely.
But that's why they employ the good old bit of slow-mo. But it's not... I think the slow-mo's done quite well because it's not as noticeable.
It's very tasteful slow-mo. I like the tasteful slow-mo.
There's also a bunch of silence.
Yes.
But that scene where he comes, like, where he beats up those guys and, like, the guy, and he gets, like, covered in blood, and we just sit there for a minute watching Ryan just sort of surveying the scene coated in blood. It's like, oh, okay. Fun fact, Hideo Kojima really loves this film.
What do you mean? That makes sense, actually, though. He likes this sort of stuff. And then completely misinterpret...
He owns a jacket. He owns the, like, jacket sort of thing.
Oh, that makes sense, actually.
Yeah. He's a big fan.
The jacket in this, I feel like, as is what usually happens with film bro movies, a lot of film bros take the wrong, I want to be like that guy from movies a lot of the time. We saw it with Joker. In this, film bros saw this and their big takeaway was, I'm going to get really into cars and wear a bomber jacket. So, this movie kind of, like, sparked the whole bomber jacket craze that was happening in the mid-2010s.
Hell yeah, dude. I love bomber jackets.
They're pretty good.
Fun fact, I used to own a jacket that looked much like that.
No, fun fact, I have a jacket that looks like that. As well.
But Sandra, did you see there's a scorpion on the jacket, and then he calls up the guy and it's like, you ever hear the tale of the frog and the scorpion? So you see, he's saying he's the scorpion.
Yes.
He's a scorpion, except that Neo at no point tried to help him at any point. So the whole point of that is the scorpion betrays him, but Ron never got betrayed. He just got killed.
I guess maybe he's the scorpion and then Ryan Gosling is the frog, but that metaphor...
Yeah, that the metaphor doesn't make sense there.
No,
what it is he is not so much a scorpion perhaps, but it is in his nature to kill, and so everyone's getting killed. And, it's in Ron's nature to be a giant asshole, so he's a giant asshole.
Yeah.
And it's in Bernie's nature to be a fucking scorpion, because he betrays everyone. Because he's a scorpion.
I disagree. He's just doing his job. He's a good guy.
He's actually a great guy, though.
That's true. Like, I feel like my partner said at some point during this movie that, like, Ryan Gosling's essentially just like a caged animal. Not a caged animal. He's a cornered animal.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of works for the scorpion thing, because, like, scorpions only really attack when they're in danger, but they attack viciously when they're in danger, which is it's kind of what he does in this.
Yeah. Again, I don't think he's the scorpion, but he's definitely, like, he is put into a corner, and it is in his nature to kill.
Yes. Well,
and therefore he does.
For sure. I want to know his backstory, but also it's not important, but I want to know, like, at what age he got into this. Because, like, we kind of, like, Bryan Cranston says that he just kind of rocked up and asked for a job one day. But I want to know, like, what was he doing before that? How old was he when he rocked up and asked for a job? Was he, like, 16 or something? What's going on here? I want to know. But also, I don't care. It's not important.
Sandro, what you're doing is exactly what they did for the Star Wars franchise. They were
true.
like, I want to know Darth Vader's backstory. And then you learnt, and then you went, wait, why did I want to know that?
I mean, that's fair. I feel like what I'm doing is more what they did for the John Wick franchise, in which, why do we have a prequel Why did they make a prequel TV show?
Sandro, because they keep wrapping up the story and it's becoming more and more ridiculous that they keep making movies. So they need to find some other way to milk the franchise that makes sense.
I think the next one's a spin-off. With Ana de Armas as the main character from Blade Runner, so, Yeah.
See, I told you, they're trying to find ways to make money off this franchise without making sequels, because making more sequels doesn't make sense.
True. Anyway, that's a good movie. Go watch it. Go.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Go watch it.
Go watch the movie.
But what I really wanted to say that I'm literally Bryan Cranston.
Oh, you're Bryan Cranston this time around.
Yeah. I'm gonna. That was the twist. No, I'm probably actually James Bilberry. Bibbery.
You're Chris Cook. You own a strip club and you're a dumb.
Yeah, I'm Chris Cook. I'm gonna write "fuck you" on my hand and then get killed by everyone.
He's kind of like the unspoken highlight of the movie is just how much of a fuckwit he plays. It's so funny. He's so bad.
Extremely. I love that he just writes "fuck you" on his hand while in a deal. But they go ahead with it anyway. So what he said, what he did, all his posturing was for literally nothing.
He dies. Well, he doesn't die, but the scene where he gets attacked, he doesn't.
Yeah,
it's not cool. That scene is so interesting because he's backstage at the strip club. He's surrounded by naked women, and his hand just gets attacked, and then Ryan Gosling's tell me where the thing is, and he's all right, I'll tell you. It's that whole scene is set up to be the big mobster fight.
Yeah,
it's a fancy set that you would expect something to happen in.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of the lamest action scene on purpose. He's so bad in this movie. It's great. It's very funny.
I like how he gets the two other crime lords are talking and they're yeah, we need to get rid of those other two because they're witnesses.
Yeah.
And he just doesn't pick up on the fact that he is also a witness. And so he is completely shocked when one of the crime lords just comes over and kills him. It's great.
Discover Hydro, the best-kept secret in fitness. Hydro is the state-of-the-art home rower that engages 86% of your muscles, delivering the ultimate full-body workout in just 20 minutes. From advanced to beginner, Hydro has over 5,000 classes, shot worldwide, and taught by Olympians and world-class athletes. For a 30-day risk-free trial, go to Hydro.com and use code ROW to save $475 on a Hydro Pro rower. That's HYDROW.com, code ROW.
It's time, Sandro, for raving reviews. But you're in charge, but actually I'm in charge.
Just like the metaphors in the movie, the real power is Zach, and now I've got to clean up the mess by figuring out the reviews.
No, the real power is the Rotten Tomatoes, and they made a fucking mess, Sandro. As always, Rotten Tomatoes is a fucking mess. But yeah, no, this is part of the show where I go to Rotten Tomatoes. I don't get those stinky critic reviews because they're all corporate shills. No, I go to the audience and we learn from the audience what they have to say about this lovely, lovely movie.
I'm sure that maybe half of them got it.
You are being very generous today. So, Sandy boy, let's get into it. I'm going to tell you the review. You're going to tell me a score. I'm going to tell you that you're wrong.
What does this movie have on Letterboxd?
Oh, it's 93% or some shit.
Audience score is 79, so still pretty high. Still pretty high, yeah.
All
right. What's the rules?
What's the rules? You guess the score, I tell you you're wrong. 0.5 to 5. Starting off strong with Ride, who says 7.6 out of 10. Truly an amazing movie. A bit awkward at times, still real good. Action movie and concept.
Awkward. How's that spelled?
ACKWARD.
It's so awkward. They spelt that so awkward. That's got to be if it's 7 point size, it's got to be a 3.5, right?
Surely, right?
Surely.
I wouldn't put the same bit where someone puts in a score and then they don't have a matching score, because that would never happen.
You wouldn't do that. No.
Anyway, it's a 3.5, so you get that correct.
Oh, okay, good.
Starting off strong. This reviewer didn't have a name, but they wanted to say probably this is why, because they said overrated.
Oh,
one cool scene.
Only one cool scene. I bet. What cool scene do you think?
Intro, or maybe some of the killings. I don't know.
Could be intro. Could be the hotel room. Maybe.
Yeah, the hotel. Maybe.
Yeah. I'm gonna say that's probably if it's overrated, one cool scene. I'm gonna go for a 2 out of 5.
Ooh, it's actually a 3 out of 5.
Oh, what?
I think it's overrated because this person rated it too high. If it's overrated, you idiot.
If you only liked one scene, it should be a 0.5 if you only liked one scene.
Next, we're going with Sydney. Ooh. Sydney has a great review. I love it. It's Sydney says, "Call it drivel, not drive."
That's a very good review.
It's a very good review.
That's got to be 0.5, but it might be a 1, but I'll say 0.5.
It's 0.5. It's 0.5. And was a really good review for a 0.
I'm going to give that review 5 out of 5.
I feel like they rated it 0.5 just so they could say their cool review they came up with.
I like that one. That's very good.
Next up, we have Kimmy Player 1.
Okay.
Starting us off on my next section.
Oh, no.
That will go through the rest of the reviews for this one.
Oh, my God. All right.
Called He's Literally Me.
Oh, no. You've got to be kidding me.
This movie is a work of art. Brackets, I drive.
Yes.
Brackets, I've never touched a woman.
He's literally me for real.
For real.
4.5 out of 5.
That was close. It was 4 out of 5.
Oh, okay. A little bit lower.
It was 4 out of 5. No, but that was really close. That was a good vibe. Kevin says, "I too wish I could cuck a guy, get him killed, and then kiss his wife, then kill everyone else."
You got the wrong idea from this movie. He never cucked.
He's literally me.
What? Oh my goodness. I love when people just like watch movies and are like, I don't understand.
No, he says, "I too wish I could cuck a guy, get him killed, and then kiss his wife, and then kill everyone else." That's what happens in the movie.
Kinda. I'm mad.
Oh, and then he says, "He's literally me."
Oh, right, of course, for sure. That's got to be a 4 again.
It is a 4 again. Well done.
Okay,
you get a point for that one. Next up is gaming, who, funnily enough, was on last week.
Really?
They reviewed... Yeah, I picked their review in the Blade Runner thing.
Well, it could be or it could...
That's true.
Interesting, we'll see. I don't think it's you, though.
I'm just saying, it's funny, I think they are also watching Ryan Gosling movies.
The Ryan Gosling ones, yeah, for sure.
He says, "Great movie. Bro is just like me. Brackets, he's an awkward loser."
I mean, it's true. It's like in this movie, he is just kind of an awkward... I'm going to say that's probably a 5 out of 5. I'm going to do it.
It's actually a 4 out of 5 again, Sandro.
Oh my God, 3, 4, and a 5s in a row.
I hit you with the 3 in a row.
Unbloody believable.
But did I finish it off with a 4 in a row?
Probably.
You're going to have to figure it out because Elise says, "I drive, brackets, literally me."
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. It's a 4 out of 5. I'm doing it. I'm going to guess the 4.
It's a 5 out of 5. Got him in the end as well with a little cherry on top.
I think I only got one of those.
Bada bing.
I only got one of those correct. All right, what's your review? 4. It's got to be one of the He's Literally Me. But which one? You
do know this from fact from last week that Ryan Gosling is literally me.
He is literally you, but have you never touched a woman before? Or are you the other one? Are you gaming? I don't know. I feel like
point.
Here's the thing with our reviews, Zach. We like to embellish a lot with our reviews. We like to go over the top a little bit in our reviews. We like to pull some pranks and throw the other one off. But I don't think that you're gaming.
Ooh.
I don't think you're gaming because that would be too obvious. So I'm going to say that you are The one who said he's never touched a woman before.
No. I'm not that one. I was, in fact, Kevin. And I, too, wish I could cuck a guy, get him killed, kiss his wife, then kill everyone else. He's literally me.
You made a review to specifically annoy me.
Yeah, I did.
Oh, I forgot that's the third option that you always go for.
Yeah, that's the third option. I can just piss off Sandro.
I like it. Well, there we go. And we've driven to the end of the episode.
Ha ha.
Toot, toot. I'm a car. What?
Toot, toot, chugga, chugga. Lot of blood.
That's a reference to Aussie band The Wiggles, if our main audience...
No, Sandro.
What?
That's a reference to New Zealand band The Wiggles.
What? Are they New Zealand?
Yeah, fucker.
I'm looking this up. Are they? They formed in Sydney, but maybe some of them are from New Zealand.
No. That checks out. That checks out.
Yeah, no, they're Australian. Fuck you. You're not getting them. You've got Russell Crowe, you've got Lord, but you can't have the bloody Wiggles.
I watched them play in a church in New Zealand.
That's so funny.
Thank you very much. There are pictures of, like, I'm going to say 5-year-old me, like, jaw dropped, like, watching the Wiggles play live on stage at a church.
Right. In New Zealand.
In New Zealand, yes. So I'd like to say I'm a super fan.
Where was my bloody invite? I knew at that point. Fucking hell.
Yeah. Well, you should have flown over to New Zealand, idiot.
I've never gone. It's fair. I've never gone. Oh, well. Well, that's the whole episode. If you want to help us get to New Zealand, go to patreon.com/Oldie but a Goodie pod.
Yeah, we need the money so we can build a boat out of all the Lassie DVD cases that we have, you know.
Fuck, that's a deep cut reference to the first season of the show.
We're gonna build a raft and sail to New Zealand so we can watch Peter Jackson's next disaster.
That's right. In New Zealand?
Yeah.
Just gonna watch Avatar 3 in New Zealand.
Hell yeah, dude! Yes.
Hell yeah, that sounds like a great idea. On Patreon, we got ad-free episodes. It helps out the show a lot. So thank you to everyone who has headed over there, dropped some coins. You also get free episodes. No, you don't. You get bonus episodes though.
To be fair, you would get at least minimum 3 episodes.
That's true.
Of bonus content.
You get the whole back catalogue for sure. And also, yeah, bonus episodes. We got the one on Freddy vs. Jason out right now. We've only got one more Friday the 13th to go. We've done all of them, so that's very exciting.
Yeah.
We're going to wrap that up soon.
Freddy vs. Jason was... Mwah.
It was tight. Let me tell you that much.
Yeah, I hate that.
This episode's very silly, actually.
Yeah. Well, we did watch a kind of very silly movie, I would say.
That's fair. Links in the episode description to that, and also to all our socials. You can follow us, review us on shit that helps on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, and drop a comment on bloody YouTube.
Thank you for listening, and to potential any editors out there, thank you for editing.
Thank you to editing. Yeah, check out our episode description. Also, check out, our editor. His name's Starkey. He streams 3 times a week on Twitch. Go check out the streams. He's been doing a lot of Elden Ring recently.
Oh, hell yeah. Elden Ring slaps.
But he's playing Elden Ring as Popeye. And I'm not going to explain what that means. You just got to go watch it.
No. That explains it perfectly.
Yeah.
I know exactly what he's doing. That's the perfect description.
Hell yeah. Well, anyway, I picked Drive. So now, Zach, it's time for you to pick a movie, for me to pick a movie.
Yes. Well, fun fact, Sandra, I have picked 3 movies. 3 glorious movies that have some connection to this film. And you, Sandy boy,
that's me,
using the hints that I give you and the questions that you ask, have to figure out which movie you would like to have a little perusal of, have a little viewing.
Now, we've changed how this works a little bit as well.
We're gonna speed this up. We're gonna make it nice and speedy.
We've been asking the same questions every episode, so we thought we'd just make them a part of the base start thing. Yeah.
Look, we go through the first base ones that we liked, you know, so that you can get a vibe from each of them, and then you can start the questions. All right.
And yes. But anyway, that's all I got to say.
Yeah. So what are the 3 questions that we start off with, Sandra?
We start off with the year the movies came out with.
Yeah.
We start off with the genre that the movie is.
Yep.
And we also, maybe an actor. Not the main actor, but potentially one of the actors.
It could be the main actor.
It could be.
But it could be any actor.
It could be any actor.
Bryan Cranston, you fuck.
Get fucked. I'm tricked you with that one.
So, Sandro, years. Your first movie, 1997.
Oh, okay.
Your second movie, 2016.
Oh, that's recent.
That's pretty recent, but not as recent as your third movie, 2023.
Oh, 3. Okay, not 2024, so it's not The Fall Guy.
Not 2024, not something that yeah. Not quite, but something that did... You've got a couple more recent movies, but I made sure we had a option to go back so Ben doesn't have an aneurysm.
That's true. He hasn't been on the show yet, in a while, so...
Yeah, oh, he's gonna be pissed off. Just don't nobody tell him. Nobody tell him we've only really been doing 2000s movies.
I'm sure he's definitely noticed.
All right, then we're doing actor, right?
Actor or genre?
Genre, okay, yeah. So, first movie, action.
Okay.
Second movie, action.
Okay.
Third movie...
It better not be action.
Action.
Okay. And they don't all have the same connection. You said that earlier.
They don't all have the same connection. The connection is not action.
All right.
It's just because they're an action / something else.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
But I have only told you action to cause chaos.
You've only given me the broad one, which is fair. It's usually what I give you. All right, actor.
I could tell you the other one, but you'll have to ask for that.
Ooh, maybe I will.
Yeah. And then we've got actors, which is the bit where I struggle because I suck at names. So we have, for the first movie, 1997, we have Mark Dacascos. They have a familiar face.
I don't know the face, but that's okay.
I know the face at least. Maybe I'm just a huge fan. For your next actor, for the second film...
Yes?
We have Rob Lowe.
Oh, fuck. Rob Lowe? All right. Yeah, I know exactly who that is. I've been watching a lot of Parks and Rec recently. All right, cool.
Yeah, Rob Lowe.
Yep.
He's great.
Yep.
He's great.
Love him.
That's why I mentioned him.
Well, I mean, maybe bad guy, actually, but I like his acting.
The actress I'm giving you is Chloe Coleman.
Chloe Coleman. Okay, I don't think I'm familiar with...
Yeah.
With... interesting. All right. Well, that's really interesting because like two of those actors, I had to Google Mark to know what he looked like. I didn't see any movie options, but I had to Google him to see what he looked like. I know who that is. I know who Rob Lowe is. I don't think I know who Chloe Coleman is.
She's been a few things. She hasn't had a lot of star roles, I think, but she's been in quite a lot of things.
My first question is, you said the genre is action / something. I want to know what the slash is. I want you to expand on the genre.
All right, first question down. I think that's a fair question.
Yeah.
First movie, action / adventure.
Okay, fun. I like it.
Second movie, action / family.
Oh no, a family movie with Rob Lowe? That'd be fucking weird. All right.
Yeah. And then the last one is action / comedy.
Ooh. Okay, all right then. Interesting. Adventure, family, comedy. I like all these options. I think it was yesterday you did say that the Rotten Tomatoes scores for all these movies might not be very high. So that's my next question, Zach. Above or below 50% on Rotten Tomatoes for all three of these?
I'll tell you, one of these movies is below 50%.
Okay.
The other two are above.
Okay.
But I don't want to tell you which, because that will make you not pick that one.
But you want me to pick that one?
But I want you to pick that one because it would be funny. It would just be very funny if you picked that one.
Oh, I don't know which one you're talking about then. This is interesting.
Yeah.
I'm like, the action adventure one is probably going to be the lower one because I'm like, an action adventure from the 90s probably won't be particularly late 90s.
Yeah, but it would be funny though, Sandy.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a bit of a silly question and then I think I'm going to pick one.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to ask you the question, if all three of these movies were to go to a cafe and they were to order a sandwich, what sandwich would these movies order?
All right, I think for the first one,
yes,
for action adventure, it's just a grilled cheese.
Ooh, okay, well, so like simple, sort of, okay, I like it. For the second one?
The second one is a big fat meatball sub. Just your big old meatball sub.
A big meatball sub.
In fact, they're ordering 2 subs. They're ordering 2 meatball subs.
What is Rob Lowe doing eating so many subs over here?
Yeah.
Is it because it's cheesy? It's a big cheesy, meaty, like, sandwich.
Well, maybe you should think about that for the first one, because that was a grilled cheese, Sandro.
True cheese. That's a good point. It's a good point. And what's the third one?
A ham cheese toasty.
Okay, so like more classy. Kind of makes me not want to pick it because ham cheese toasty is a very like normie sort of toasty, and I'm like, well, I don't, I don't know if I want that.
Well, maybe I could spice it up for you. I'm gonna say it's a ham cheese toasty with extra olives, extra pickles. I'm gonna say.
Oh, olives and pickle. Okay.
Yeah, olives, pickles. Pineapple.
What the fuck?
And sprinkles on top.
What the actual fuck is that movie? That makes me kind of want to go for it a little bit.
Yeah. I knew I had to spice it up for that one because it's like I was trying to think of some good sandwiches, and then I was like, actually, I'm not sure, but I think my picks for each one are perfect now.
I'm going to ask you the question of if these were to be in a big old fight, which one of these 3 would win in a big old fight? I liked that question last week.
So I will tell you, this is an epic battle.
Okay.
For comedic effect, losers is number 3. Mm-hmm. But they come back later on, and then they still lose again.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
And then it's the first one versus the second one, right?
Yep, yeah.
And in a fight, the second one is the clear favorite to win.
Okay.
But like, if the first one's the main character, they're winning, right? If they're not, the second one's absolutely decimating them.
Okay, interesting.
The first one will need plot armor to beat the second one.
So, like, the second one's like a gigantic beast, and the first one's just kind of a guy who would win if he's the main character, but would get decimated if it was real life.
Or otherwise, he would get absolutely decimated. Yeah, if it's real life scenario, he's fucked. If it's a movie scenario, he probably wins. And then, yeah, the third movie just keeps showing up and dying.
Well, the third movie is not doing it for me, so I'm cutting that one out.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I'm okay with you doing that. I think that's good.
It is between 1 and 2 for me, and I kind of feel like after doing a bunch of Film Bro movies, I want to go for the crowd favorite.
Ooh, what's the crowd favorite? I still haven't figured it out.
Which is the second one.
Oh.
The one, like you mentioned, it's like the crowd favorite in the fight. The problem is, every single week we pick the second option. This has happened every week.
Yeah, but the second option's always a good option.
That's right.
It's a good option.
Maybe I'm going to switch it up next time and not put what I would put in the second spot. I don't know.
Are you locking it in? Are you picking the second one?
I think I want to pick the second one, yeah. I love a big meatball sub. Sometimes I feel like a meatball sub. I want to go to the 90s. Eventually, I'd love to not be in the modern day.
Yes.
Oh my god, am I picking the one that you wanted me to pick?
You absolutely are.
Okay, well...
Because, Sandro, remember when you asked about Rotten Tomatoes?
Yeah, oh no.
Well, I have good news. You've picked the one with the lower Rotten Tomato scores.
I picked the...
Because you're after a big old sub, a big meatball sub. What about a monster truck-sized meatball sub? What about the movie Monster Trucks, the 2016 family/action film?
What the fuck are you talking about?
The Monster Trucks film.
What the fuck have I picked? What is this?
And Sandro, the thing is, you don't have to thank me. No, you have to thank your partner for picking this movie. Because, of course, I didn't choose this.
What?
They did.
Are you...
And I'm so glad that you managed to pick this one.
You didn't even pick this movie.
No, it was well, I picked it after being kindly suggested it.
What the fuck is this?
I have seen clips of this. It's got 32% on Rotten Tomatoes, and I think it's gonna be 32% on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right. Well, what were the other options? Because now that I've picked that, I want to know what I've missed out on.
You're gonna love it. All right. Monster Trucks Connection is a big old car.
Oh yeah, for
this
sure.
Car,
that makes sense.
You know, They do work on the monster trucks. You know, it's Cars.
I think Cars is a good, like, that's not a stretch. It's a very direct connection. I like it. Yeah, it's good.
So the third option, the one that you rejected, was the Dungeons and Dragon Honor Amongst Thieves.
Oh yeah, she plays the rogue.
Yeah. See, I couldn't. Man. There was a lot of actors there that if I felt like I gave them to you, it would give it away.
What is the connection between Drive and D&D?
Because, little spoiler, it's about a heist that goes wrong.
That's not a stretch.
It's not a stretch, is it?
That's not a stretch. That's a good connection.
I thought about it, and I went, oh, wait a minute. Haha.
I like
this
it.
This is a connection.
That's a wild, that's a good one. I like that movie a lot.
Have you seen that movie?
I have, yeah. I saw it in cinemas.
I've also seen that one, but I thought that would be fun to review if we did it. And the first one is my favorite connection, because the first movie is called Drive from 1997. And the connection is the movie's title is the same. It's the same title. That is the connection. So I would have also been happy if you picked that one.
Drive is about a guy who's got an implant in him that gives him superpowers.
Yeah. So that's why I was like, maybe he kind of whoops the monster truck's ass. But then I was like, nah, it's a big old monster truck. But after seeing this film, I might actually say that he beats up the monster truck.
He might be able to. Well, next week we're doing the fucking monster trucks. All right.
It's gonna be...
Why is it called Monster Trucks? It's only got one in the poster.
I think he fights other monster trucks, right?
Like, oh, great. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's because, monster trucks, they're, rumbling around a thing, crushing cars and shit, right?
The premise of it is an alien becomes a monster truck, okay?
I think I've seen, part of this on TV, and it's just as good as it looks.
Sounds amazing. Well, next week, monster trucks. Thank you, Zach.
No need to thank me, as I said, for this was not one of the ones I thought of first, but it's the ones I definitely added.
Wow. All right, well, next week we're doing a bomb. Can't wait to see you there.
Look, I've been picking good movies for the past couple of things.
That's true.
The movies we've done, they've had some high percent. I need to get back to our roots of watching hot garbage.
All right. This is going to be some hot Patreon level garbage, so I'm very excited. All right. We'll see you then. Thanks so much for listening, and make sure to keep driving.